On your left side. You're sort of hanging back. Watch this. If I put a line right here, your initial move away, your head actually goes this direction. Watch.
Yeah.
And then your first move right there is your hands. What we've got to do is get your knees, your feet, and your hips to start the downswing. So, as he takes it back with a wide takeaway, the left shoulder gets behind the ball. Now watch the early move with the lower body right there. So not only is he turning, watch how he turns that right hip and gets behind it. Now watch the knees and the feet. So the knees and the feet start the downswing. The feet, the knees, and the hips. And so we got to learn, I want you to practice with your arms crossed over your shoulders. Turn your left shoulder under your chin. And then from there, what I want you to do is start to work on moving your hips. That's what's got to happen. So you're going to turn back and practice moving your hips. They're going to shift and rotate before your shoulders. You got to practice that movement, right? Because right now your sequence is all backwards. You start, you have a very good move, but the problem is you don't get a lot of turn, and then you start with your hands right there.
Right.
And then there's no power because your lower body's basically in concrete. I mean, it's stagnant, right? I mean, there's not a whole lot going on there.
Right.
Whereas when you look at Jason Duffner over here, he's got an early move with the hips. They shift, and now they're going to start to unwind. So a dysfunctional lower body is why you're losing power. It's why you're adding loft. It's why your left wrist is what we call scooping, or whatever you want to call that, where the left wrist bends. You also get a little chicken wing there.
Yeah.
And that all comes from starting the downswing from the upper body and not the lower body. So I'm going to give you some exercises to do to practice getting that disassociation. In other words, being able to move one segment independent of another.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just turn your upper body and then practice everything's there, right? Then once you go there, then you go there. I've noticed myself sometimes really much good
So that probably contributes to where I never feel like I'm totally through.
Right. So you have to compartmentalize what you're learning. You're going to work on your body movements independent of your arm movements. Right. So that's what I want you to work on at home. I don't want you to think consciously about any of this when you go play.
Gotcha.
What I want you to work on is trying to incorporate these movements slowly and let them naturally incorporate themselves with repetition. The other thing is you got to work on a bent right wrist and a flat left wrist. You do the opposite. You have a cupped left wrist and a bent right wrist like that. And you can see here, there's impact. All right, if we
yeah, it's coming up.
So you'll see here he's going to uncock the wrist and extend the arms down the target line. You see the lack of extension is really comes from a dysfunctional lower body, just not being able to get that lower body moving.
Gotcha.
But you're a big enough guy, you can sort of get away with it because you got enough arc. You can generate enough speed because you're a big guy. But it's not really efficient.
Right. Definitely not.
So I want to see if we can get a little better turn. And if we can turn better, get the hips turning better, the shoulders turning, some of this stuff will naturally
take care of itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's really the root cause of it, is you're not getting a lot of power from the rotation of your lower body on the backswing, which then forces you to use your hands to generate speed. So I think if we just focus on getting a little bit bigger turn, I think that will help you.
So I should release the hip.
Let those hips rotate, man. Yeah. Look, let me show you Bubba Watson. Okay, Bubba doesn't have any.
See how much lower that.
I'm going to turn him and make him right-handed.
Projecting the ball.
He doesn't restrict anything. Watch this wide takeaway. Watch how he turns the hips. He's not restricting anything. He's rotating everything as far as he can. Now he's going to come off the ground with vertical force. So he's a wide takeaway, very wide. He maximizes his arc. And he lets those hips go. You don't see those hips. See how he's turning everything together there? See how his belt buckle and the club is moving together there?
Right.
There's no restriction there.
Gotcha.